Good morning, and welcome to Tuesday morning. We are live with the morning sales step up. Now, if you haven't actually joined me before, then you might not know what this is all about. Well, it's really easy. Throughout lockdown, I am coming live on LinkedIn every single morning at 9 o'clock. And every single day, I am going to be sharing some sales hints, tips, and inspiration to get you super excited about the day ahead. Because let's be honest, at this moment in time, not everyone's feeling as cheerful and positive as they might be. But if you've got to sell, then you've got to be up for it. So my name is Victoria Fleming. I'm a sales trainer and consultant, and I'm super excited if you're joining me here today. So if you are here, I can only see you if you give me a little comment in the chat. So say hello, and I would love to say hello back. Today, we are talking all about what to do if a prospect asks you to send an email. That happens all the time, doesn't it? At different stages in our conversation. And sometimes that's a brilliant thing, and sometimes it's not. So we're going to talk about a few ways to handle that and how that might work for you. So here we go. Throughout this morning, I'm going to be here for 10 minutes because we've all got work to do. We've all got sales and deals to make. So because of that, I've got my mate, Pirate Pete. Pirate Pete is actually going to keep us the time and give us 10 tight minutes on exactly how to handle this situation. Good morning, Sam. Hi, Alison. That's great to see you. Now, I know Sam was selling yesterday, closing those deals. You see, you can close deals anytime. Great to see you, Alison. Lovely. Thank you so much for saying hello. So we are putting 10 minutes on the clock. Here we go. 10 minutes on emails. Right, so let's talk about when people ask you to send an email. Now, the first time that you might get that is you might actually get it from a gatekeeper. And this is a really common one. What it is a gatekeeper doesn't want to let you through. So because of that, they say, well, can you just send them an email instead? And you go, oh no, because you don't really want to send them an email instead because they're probably not going to reply. So you think, oh no, it's a get rid tactic. The gatekeeper's saying is I don't want to put you through. Hi, Bev. And that looks like Emma's here as well. Hello. So you quite often get this from a gatekeeper, and that can be a real challenge. Now, the thing is, if you say yes to that, then what quite often happens is they then give you an info address. So you know the decision maker, the person you want to get to, isn't even going to see that email. So it's just like, oh no, I can't believe it. I've been fobbed off. So instead, what could you do instead? Well, if a gatekeeper says to you, can you just send them an email, or why don't you send them an email? What I like to say is, I can absolutely do that, but it's actually quite important that I speak to them today. When are they next available? What's really good about that is that actually I've said it's more important than an email. And the other thing is I've now turned that around. So what I'm actually saying is, look, when can I speak to this person? I'm making an assumption, and that's really good because I am assuming that person is going to want to speak to me, which is a fantastic message to share because it's saying, look, this isn't just another sales call. This isn't something of no value. It's something super valuable that they're going to want to have. So I don't just want to send them an email. It's important I speak to them today. When will they next be available? I'm also setting some boundaries around that. The great thing about that is that when they say they'll be back after 3, is that when you ring back after 3, you can, of course, then say, oh, I'm calling back to speak to Fred. Thanks so much, which is great because, again, that is then turned that call into a pre-arranged call. Hi, Catherine. Oh, it's lovely. Thank you so much for saying hello. It's nice to know that I've got some people joining me for this. Excited to talk about emails. So that's what you can think about with a gatekeeper. Hi, Rachel. Oh, it's got loads of people joining me today. Lovely. All right. So when's the next time that you might get that as an objection? Well, if you call someone and you start a conversation, at the very beginning of the call, you'll sometimes get people who are like, look, I'm really busy. Can you just send me an email? Again, what that really is like a get rid. It's like, I don't want to talk to you. I haven't got time. Not interested. Look, can we just move along from this? Just send me an email. Because guess what? Emails are like super easy to delete. I mean, come on. I've done it. Hands up if you've done it in the comments. If you just told someone to send you an email and then you just delete the email because you're not really interested. Yeah, we all do it. We all do it. Okay. So for that reason, what we really want to do is we want to not say, yes, I can send you an email, because actually the challenge is if it's right at the beginning of the call, they don't really know what the call's about. They don't really know who we are. And potentially, do they even know what they want to see on an email? Well, the answer to that question is quite often no, because they're just trying to get rid of us. Oh, talking too quick. Right. So what are we going to say to that one? So if someone says right at the very beginning of the call, can you send me an email? I always like to respond, oh yeah, Rachel, you see, not just me. Yeah, we delete those emails. Yeah, Alison too. We're terrible people. We're terrible human beings. We're just very busy, aren't we? Very busy. All right. So if they say that to us at the beginning of the call, the thing is they don't know if this call is really relevant for them. They don't know enough. They don't know enough about it. So for that very reason, what we want to do is we want to catch them out on that. There we go. Yeah, Louise, guilty, caught in the act. We captured you. All right. So what we're going to say is we're going to say, absolutely, I can do that. Because people like to hear yes. So we're saying, absolutely, yes, of course I can do that. What is it exactly that you would like to see on that email to make sure that I include it for you? Now, what's really nice about that is I'm actually saying, great, what do you want to see? Now, interestingly, at the very beginning of the call, the chances they've got absolutely no idea what they want to see because they haven't had a conversation with us yet. So at that point in time, quite often people turn around and say, well, I don't really know if you can just tell me like a little bit about what it is that you're doing, or yeah. At which point, what's really nice about that is you can then go in and actually start a little bit of qualification. So it means that you can then turn around and say, I can absolutely do that. A few quick questions just to allow me to do that. Yeah, how many people have you got in the team? What about this? What about that? What about the other? So it actually means you can do a little bit of qualification first. And one of two things will happen. Either you will be able to qualify enough that actually all of a sudden you can send a meaningful email, which is great. Or the other option is that actually as part of that, they go, well, what exactly is this about? And then you can actually go straight into the conversation you're hoping to have anyway. So that's the second time that you come across the send me an email comment. Now there is a third time. Okay, again, let me know in the comment if you get this as well. So the third time is that the third time about it is all about at the end of the conversation. Now, this might happen at the end of a phone conversation or the end of a meeting. It could happen at any of those times. But at the end of something, people will quite often ask, well, can you send me an email? Now, there's two times and two reasons why they might want that. One is because when you get to the end of a conversation, what you want to do is arrange your next step. So arrange your next conversation or arrange when you are going to pick up on this again. That's what you want to do. Of course you do. You want to follow through your sales process. So in that situation, it can be that they will say, oh, look, can you just pop it out to me on an email and I'll come back to you. Oh, right. Okay. So the challenge with that is what they're saying is send me an email and I'll think about it and I'll speak to you, not the other way round. Okay. So that's like a real challenge. The other time is that they say, well, look, could you put all that information on an email for me? And that's actually quite nice because what they're wanting is they're wanting just confirmation of everything that you've talked about. In either situation, the key is that you need to keep control and you need to make sure that sending an email doesn't become like the end of your process. You need to sort of make sure that you're still getting the next step after that. So at the end of your call or the end of your conversation, if someone says, great, can you send me an email about that? As always, the answer is, of course I can. The key is to make sure you book in the next step. So how you're going to do that is simply by saying, of course I can. The best thing for me to do would be to send that email out to you with everything we've discussed on today. And then we can hop back on a call next week to pick up on that. Would Tuesday or Thursday be better for you? So the key at this point is to use it as an opportunity to restate, reframe, and confirm everything you've talked about in that conversation. And then in addition, to actually book that next appointment in. And that's actually, excuse me, and that's actually when that can be super helpful to you, which is like amazing. So they are the 3 times that people will ask you to send an email. Once is with the gatekeeper, once is in your first early conversation, and once is at the end of your first call or conversation. And that's the one that can be really super helpful to you. Actually, even that one at the end of the call as well, a great question to ask is still, of course I can, what is it you would like to see in that? Because that does just mean that you are going to send them exactly what it is that they're actually wanting, which, let's be honest, is what you want to do. So they are my top tips. Pirate Pete has not sounded yet, but I know he's about to because I can see the time. So any minute now he's going to dance his samba. But just while he's about to get ready for that, let me tell you what's coming up tomorrow, because I am live at 9 o'clock every morning through lockdown, with a little something special coming up on Fridays as well. So keep an eye open for what's going to start happening on Fridays. We are doing just 10, 12 minutes, just a few minutes, just of some tips and some ideas to get you started for the day. If you've got some stuff that you would like to see that we talk about, then let me know in the comments or drop me a DM. And if you want to be reminded next time, there he goes. If you want to be reminded next time that I go live, e.g. tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, very easy, then just make sure that you are following me and you'll get that little pop-up notification from LinkedIn. Tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing some sales and fails. I love sales and fails. What's not to like? Sales and fails. We're going to talk about sales and fails across 2020. So what's all that about? Well, that's really, I'm going to share some of the stuff that I've seen people using that's been really effective in selling across 2020 and some quite challenging circumstances, let's be honest. And equally some stuff that really doesn't work. Neil, hi Neil, coming on. Oh, Neil, you've missed all my wisdom. But it's lovely to see you here. So join me again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m, where I'm going to be talking about sales and fails all the way across COVID, all the way across selling, and we're going to see what you can steal to make the very best of the next few months. So until tomorrow, have a fantastic day. Just keep selling, and I'm going to see you very soon. Thanks for watching.